Check. We already got a hype train going. Love that. Good morning. Hello, Steak. Good morning. Welcome to the board review. It is Monday, September 1st. Football's back. It feels really good, even though my favorite team lost. But it was a pretty good weekend of football. Yeah. I know that week ones aren't necessarily supposed to open up with a bang. We have a lot of slow plays into the schedule and marquee matchups. Some letdowns, some couple of teams, Clemson and Texas, didn't necessarily live up to the hype, but overall, I enjoyed myself watching football for an entire day and a half. How about you, Steak?
I had a great fucking time. I'm actually on cloud nine. I finally feel a little better. I watched an obnoxious amount of football all week, and now it's just talk about it until the NFL gets here, and it's the best fucking time of the year, man. And I'm going to Philadelphia.
Yep, you're going to Philadelphia. You love live football, so you will travel to the great. I'm just kidding. That'll be fun to go to the season opener.
Wait, let me explain. I love live football. I do. It's very fun when it's the only game on.
Fair enough. I still don't know that I entirely agree with you, but fair enough. Philly's a cool city though, and obviously any excuse to have any sort of mini guys trip is okay by me. Hello, everybody. Oh my God, we're this is the time of year it is, isn't it? This is the time of year. You know, Bucknut wasn't really around much for over the summer, and that's okay if you're not a baseball guy or gal. I'm not going to criticize you, but it's good to have you here, Bucknut. The world famous Buckeyes 1-0. It's PLL semifinals time. Ron, with all due respect, it is not the time to talk about the PLL.
But I'll tell you, Ron, you give me a play, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Ron, keep up the good work again. Keep crushing the lacrosse content, but it's nothing but football today. W full-time streamers, that's right. It's a holiday. I didn't even realize that. We don't take the holidays off, especially not during football season. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Equity Rise? Faded Lee Corso. Can we capitalize his name for the love of fuck? Lee Corso, show a little respect. Now he's homeless. Why would you do that?
I doubt that he really did that. But isn't it funny how it could all just be so easy?
Yeah. I mean, but like, not really. It wasn't so easy.
It was so easy. He hit every single pick he gave out, including FSU money line.
That's not easy.
If you would have tailed Lee Corso, you would have hit an 80-1 parlay.
I don't agree with you that that's easy. It's not like he picked 14-point favorites and 7-point favorites. He picked a 14-point underdog. That's not easy.
I know. I'm not saying it was easy what he did. I'm saying it's also easy as to tail Lee Corso on his final show ever.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, hey, in retrospect, that would have been a pretty good going out narrative play. Always been a big Lee Corso guy. Although I have to admit, I didn't really watch much of game day. I kind of feel like an asshole. Did you watch it?
Nah, I watched Ramble, to be completely honest with you, but I saw clips. I'll be honest, not in a negative way. I watched it. I was emotional about it. It's a little sad because he's really old, man, and you could tell like he probably shouldn't even be out there anymore, but they have to do the finale, if that makes sense. But it's like, sure. It's a little sad. He's old as shit, man.
Yeah, he's the man. Good for him. I thought it was cool they did it on the field. Baseball's fun. It's surprised DJ didn't fall asleep last night. Hey, baseball, I'm surprised I didn't either. I stayed at the bar the whole time, and I thought I was going to go home at halftime, but it was a good game. I was with our buddy Drew, who's a Miami Hurricanes fan. We were at a Notre Dame bar. It was a good atmosphere, and we were just locked in. So, yeah. But I have, in full transparency, I told Steak this. I'm like really hurting. The shout out to the Aura Ring, but this is my readiness for the day. 59. A lot of reds. I'm in rough shape. I think I told you guys, my dog is just waking up every hour and a half, 2 hours to piss and shit in the middle of the night. I haven't had a full night's sleep in over a week. So I'm doing my best to power through, but man, I'm fucking hurting. Not to mention a couple of drinks over. Didn't really get drunk Saturday. What the fuck did I do Saturday? Did we do anything Saturday? No. Sunday was last night. I don't think I did anything Saturday. I can't remember. Anyways, it's good to be with you on the recap. I love the recaps. Steak loves the recaps. Snowman loves the recaps. What's up? I will.
Snowman loves the recaps the most out of all three of us.
He just might. Yeah, he just fucking might. Listen, the Monday streams are great. The crowd is buzzing. The energy is excellent. So this is what I want from everybody, okay? Throw out everything that you've got while we are going through these games. But Steak, let's you and I lock in. Don't get distracted. We
Yeah.
watched a lot of football. I took a lot of mental notes, even though my brain is struggling and on fumes right now. I'm going to do my best to give you everything that I've got. Also, my throat hurts. I hope I'm not getting sick. But anyways, DGen battling stadium pulse today. Yep. Doesn't even have kids complaining about sleep. That's right, Jay Thorpe. Yeah, yep. This is why I can't break down and buy a dog. Don't blame you. Pets are the best, but when they get old, it's very, very sad. Anyways, let's get into it. So, Steak, you were not on Friday, right? I think that's when I talked to GRP.
Yeah, it wasn't on Friday. Yeah, so we haven't talked about any of the football. Damn, I just realized that.
Yep. We hadn't Steak pulled a fucking flu bug and skipped out on the degenerate fantasy football draft, but I saw you enjoyed yours at a really nice mansion. So that looked like a great time. Nice job, way to weasel your way around that, you fucking loser.
I didn't skip out.
DJ, I don't know if I can stream the fantasy football draft tonight. Why don't you go ahead without me, you fucking asshole? Yeah, I want to be in the trenches.
Go ahead without you. Guy. I texted the chat. I said we're not streaming and we're still drafting, and we drafted. And you auto drafted Travis Kelce.
I don't know how that fucking happened. And some other idiot loser. Who's the other idiot loser I got? Quinshawn Judkins and fucking Keenan Allen. Anyways, we're not talking about
Quinshawn Judkins could end up being a steal.
Snidesy, Hill Daddy, Odeze with some subscriptions. We got a hype train level 1. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. DGen definitely was live streaming him making a drink on Saturday. That's right. I did have a rum and coke on Saturday. That was delicious. That coconut rum. Anyways, let's go back to Thursday. All right. What did we have on Thursday that's worth talking? Actually, no. We should start fresh. We should start
real quick. Byron Brown, baller.
Well, no, we could go back to Thursday and talk about it, but should we talk Miami Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should. Yeah.
All right. I think going into this game, people could tell as a Notre Dame fan, at least from my perspective, I was not confident. I thought Notre Dame could win the game. I thought that they would probably win the game, but it was more so doubting Miami. And going into it, I will say I started to have this confidence, this newfound confidence in Notre Dame, what feels like a new Notre Dame team with like some swagger, led by Marcus Freeman. But given that they just had a run through the playoffs last year and did it with come on, like Riley Leonard's not an elite quarterback by any means, but I don't even remember what the spread was against Georgia and Penn State necessarily, but were they underdogs?
That's a good question. Yes,
I'm not sure.
Penn State, not by much, I don't think.
Not by much, but there was something over the offseason too, where like I just liked everything I heard from Marcus Freeman. They were wearing these things on the shoulder sleeves. SAS still ain't shit. Like getting to the national championship isn't anything. And I really thought Notre Dame was going to come out and be nasty. I thought they were going to be a nasty team with some swagger, and they were not. They were not. And that is probably the most frustrating and upsetting takeaway as a Notre Dame fan. I want to break down a lot of things from this game, but I don't want to ramble for 15 minutes. I want to go back and forth a little bit. But I'd like to give Miami their credit, and I'll hand it off to you here, Steak, because you are a Miami guy. Listen, we'll hold on one second. Let me just make sure my mic is on. Yeah, I'm good.
You sound good.
I don't want to take away anything as I slander Notre Dame here in the next few minutes, but I don't want to take away anything from Miami. And I shit on Mario Cristobal a lot. I don't think he's a great head coach. I wasn't a big believer in Carson Beck. And yeah, I mean, Miami's a talented football team and Mario Cristobal can recruit, but still the guys that we've seen that he's gotten down there, I mean, their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. I was reminded, Steak, I know they lost to Syracuse, but I forgot that they had a 21-point lead in that game.
Yes.
They were up 21-0 and they lost 42-35. This is a team that looked completely different. And I don't know what to attribute it to. I don't know what changed with the Miami Hurricanes, but I got to give them all the credit in this game because they came out and you know what they did? This is what I fucking love. They played like the underdog. Listen, even when I played high school football in the local papers, there was a spread. Teams know the spread. Miami played at home like an underdog, and they were nasty. Their defense looks totally different. Whether it's a new defensive coordinator, I think they hired a guy from Minnesota. Yeah, he's a young dude. I saw him on the sideline. He looked pretty good, fiery, good energy. But they got big boys on the defensive line. They got big boys. and they were making a Notre Dame team who is known for having offensive linemen, a solid offensive lineman, and always having a top tier offensive line. They were bullying them. They were pushing them around. Notre Dame was getting nothing off the line of scrimmage. And I got to tell you, the offensive game plan was great. I thought they looked like a team that had really just practiced well. They were locked in. They were motivated. They were fired up. Honestly, from start almost to finish, they took their foot off the gas a little bit, and we'll break that down here in a minute. But I just want to give Miami a lot of credit. They looked good. They were coached well. And I thought Carson Beck was very, very poised in his first start in a Hurricanes uniform. So, Steak, as a Hurricanes backer on the season, and you took some swings. And listen, week one's all about not overreacting, but we can still overreact a little bit. There's some things that are very telling to coming out of the gate. How do you feel about the Hurricanes after what you saw last night?
I really loved the first half. Like the first half, I don't think I had a single complaint about. I couldn't believe when I realized Carson Beck was trotting out there and it said record 24-3 as a starter, 58 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, and 7,500 yards in the last 2 years. And I'm like, God damn, people think this guy's trash. I cannot believe that. And I thought he played great. I didn't really love the play calling, but I thought he played great. And most importantly, which I mentioned, I like Miami's weapons better this year. Like everyone keeps telling me, like, oh, Xavier Restrepo was first team All-American. He had almost 2,000 yards receiving. Listen, bro, if your team has to get Xavier Restrepo, who can't make an NFL roster, 2,000 yards, you don't have enough weapons. And Damian Martinez can't make an NFL roster either. I like the backs better, and I like the offensive line way better. So I was happy. Here's where I got pissed off, and then I'm going to switch it to Notre Dame. They called the game like absolute pussies in the second half. They played not to lose multiple times, and I actually thought they were going to lose and deserved to lose because of how soft they played that. The fucking defense, when they were up, was it 24-7? No, 21-7, just
21-7.
softest defense ever. And then it was 3rd and 3, and you're at like the 30-something. You run the ball. You don't even try to get a first down to kick a field goal. You start playing the most conservative football ever, and it was awful. I hated how it was called at the end. And I want to say, I don't think you should be upset at all about CJ Carr. I think that's an impossible situation to ask a freshman to go down to Miami, Florida, and be good right away. But I thought that play he made, whatever you want to fucking call it, where he spun out 6 times to throw that touchdown, I thought that showed a lot of guts. I thought the rushing touchdown was Riley Leonard-esque, and I thought he really got his shit together. And honestly, I liked what I saw from him. If anything, I left that game thinking I'd be buying CJ Carr more than selling him. But it's a huge win for Miami because that's obviously one of the tougher games on their schedule, and it's a huge win. But I just think this team wins as many games as Mario Cristobal doesn't blow. Does that make sense?
100%.
And that's kind of, everyone warned me when I said I wanted to back Miami. They were like, oh, GG's, Mario Cristobal. Well, everyone's right. I don't trust him for shit, but I trust the shit out of Carson Beck. I think he's going to have a massive year. I think Carson Beck is a great fucking sprinkle for the Heisman. I really do.
Yeah. He looked good, and they had a great offensive line. And I tweeted about this, and I was like, "Is Miami known to have a good offensive line this season?" One of my buddies commented and said, "Yeah, they spent $5 million on the O line. They looked incredible." Notre Dame had,
that guy's name's not Michael, it's Malachi. He was fucking amazing. Malachi Tony, number 10. Is that Kadarius Tony's little brother? That's not true, right?
I don't know, but that guy, I believe, is 17 years old. Did you know
he's
that?
17 years old. Yeah, he's also just a 3-star recruit. He's not even like a big time guy. But I don't think he's related to Kadarius Toney. I feel like they couldn't wait to mention that yesterday if that was true.
Yeah, and I know you get really fired up when you find out a player is related to a former player. Here's a pretty crazy nugget.
Chris Johnson Jr. Disgusting touchdown, by the way. If you want to see that.
Here we go. Notre Dame pressured Carson Beck just 4 times. The last time Notre Dame had fewer pressures than that in a game was Week 12 of 2017. That game was against Navy, who dropped back to pass 9 times.
Yeah, good point here, by the way. The end of second quarter time management was so bad, and that CJ Daniels catch was insane.
Yeah, but all right, so a couple things. I actually did not think Miami.
I'm listening, but I got to send a corp text. I apologize.
That's fine. I don't know that I entirely agree with you that Miami started playing not to lose, because they didn't line up in the last 3 drives when they had the lead, they didn't just run, pass. They were running the ball on first down, as they should have, because they were getting 5 to 6 yards every first down play when they ran it. They were getting such good push against Notre Dame, but they were run, pass. And I actually thought they went too pass heavy. I thought if they played a little bit conservative and just kept running, I actually think they would have iced the clock and been in full control. I think Mario Cristobal tried to be too aggressive, and I think it backfired because he said, "Oh, I don't want to get criticized," and blah blah blah. Notre Dame, I was looking at the rushing stats. Their running back, starting running back for Miami, ran for 4.4 yards per carry. It's not anything crazy, but it's pretty good.
It's okay. They weren't anything special. The running game wasn't anything special for Miami. And I'll say this. I think personally, if you didn't see how conservative in a bad way Miami got at the end of that game, you might have been a little too focused on the other side of the ball with Notre Dame, because Miami got badly conservative, and not in a good way. I understand getting conservative when you have to. They got conservative too soon. If Miami kept playing the same style of football they were playing, I don't think this game ever would have been tied.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I really thought that what I liked from Miami is their game plan. Well, first of all, again, I just couldn't believe they were getting such good push off the line of scrimmage, and it felt like to me every first down Miami fell forward for 5 yards. Partly to do with the strength of their offensive line, also partly to do with the defensive coordinating from Notre Dame. Chris Ash, this guy that's replacing Al Golden, big problem. I thought he played so conservative on defense, sitting back in coverage 78 yards off the ball on 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And I don't know, I went back and watched some of the game this morning. The thing I like the most about Carson Beck and the game plan and the play calling is there was a really good blend of taking shots down the field. Like, they let plays or tried to have plays that developed, and his eyes were downfield, which I really liked. And then if nothing was there, he just checked it down. He must have checked it down probably 4 or 5 times. And every single time the running back got at least 5 to 6 yards. Like, there was no Notre Dame player out there. And what I started to realize, and I don't know if this is accurate, but just my assumption from watching the game, Notre Dame on defense, Chris Ash, wasn't necessarily playing aggressive. He was playing scared to let Miami beat them deep. So it was almost like, we want to give Miami everything in front of us. I didn't necessarily like that. I thought they should have played him straight up and just force Carson Beck to beat you deep. I don't think that he had a ton of really good deep balls. He had a couple of overthrows. They took some shots, but that one play, I think it was the first touchdown pass, was phenomenal. That was on a 3rd and 10, and it was still pretty good coverage. I don't know if you remember that. He was kind of rolling to his left, threw it, and I think that was to Tony or somebody else. But that was good coverage. You kind of just take that for what it is. It was 3rd and 10. It was a great play by Carson Beck, but the drive that killed me was the one before halftime. And that's the one too, my buddy was saying. He was like, "Oh, Miami was just dinking and dunking down the field with 5 minutes left in the half. Notre Dame had just scored. And Miami gets the ball to start the second half. I'm thinking to myself, Notre Dame should play incredibly aggressive defense, get the ball back, and try to score again before you give Miami the first possession in the second half. They let Miami dink and dunk their way all the way down the field. And my friend kept saying, Drew kept saying, "Oh, that's not bad. Like, time was running down. Let him kick a field goal before halftime. You'll be happy to be down 3. Let him kick a field goal." And then sure enough, that fucking catch happens. And it's a free catch. It wasn't a great throw. It was an unbelievable play. But still, that was, in my opinion, just being conservative from Notre Dame. And I was really upset with that. And the offensive play calling. And again, I don't want to hog the microphone too much, but this was on a list of problems that I had with Notre Dame. Again, not coming out nasty and pissed off was a big one. The offensive game plan was crazy. You said it, and I agree. I thought CJ Carr played a really good game. He did what he could. The offensive line did him no fucking favors. Yep. And I don't know if that's a problem with Notre Dame's outline or kudos to Miami or both. But I thought he did really well. And my biggest problem, and this infuriates me, and it happened with Arch Manning in Texas, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but if you're going to have this quarterback competition and you're going to land on the guy who's got the hype and who is the gunslinger, who's got the great arm, you go out there and you call 4 wide receiver screens, I believe, in the first 6 or 7 pass plays.
It was insane. It was insane.
Insane is one way to describe it. I would use the word pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic, because you know what that says? We're scared. That's what that says. When you go out there, it's like, "Oh, dude, we know it's a freshman quarterback making his first start on the road, primetime Miami. Yeah, that shit's scary. Fucking let it loose. Let it loose or start fucking Minchie, who can run the ball. If you're going to be a bunch of pussies, I couldn't fucking believe. And you know what? On the first drive, it worked. I don't know if you remember this. There were 2 wide receiver screens where Faison,
yeah,
he busted one for 15, busted another for 10. But again, I keep going back to giving Miami credit. I want to make sure I'm really balanced here. Miami adjusted, and you saw what happened. Miami ended up causing a fumble. Malachi Fields on like the second drive. There was a wide receiver screen, first play of the drive, fumble. And then that weird interception was another wide receiver screen because guess what? What happens? You make adjustments. And if you're going to fucking throw 4 or 5 wide receiver screens in the first 6, 7 plays, Miami's going to say, oh, well, anytime we see the receiver lining up, fucking turn around, our guys are just going. And not one fucking time did Notre Dame use the wide receiver screen to fucking fake it and go deep.
Yeah.
Not one time. They didn't throw it deep one fucking time, except that I think the tight end was like wide open on busting coverage. But, oh, no, Malachi Fields ended up having a really nice game or catch down the sideline for like 20 yards. But I could not fucking believe they were so chicken shit and soft with their play calling with CJ Carr, because I think if they let him throw it and sling the rock, I think Notre Dame had a much better chance to potentially win that game.
Both the turnovers were on screenplays.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. Both the turnovers on screen.
What if you just took both of those turnovers out? Notre Dame probably wins that game.
Yeah. And I don't think Miami turned the ball over one time. Notre Dame was, or Miami was just hitting hard. I mean, they looked, I'm not going to say they're back because every time you do that, they're not back, but they just looked different. They were fucking hitting hard. They were playing nasty. They weren't playing soft. They weren't playing like a bunch of fucking TikTokers. I was really, really impressed. And I know I'll give Notre Dame a little bit of credit. Here's the credit I'll give them. They fought back. Yes, if you were to tell me Notre Dame's down 21-7 on the road late in the game with CJ Carr and a freshman quarterback on the road, I'd have been like, nah, that this game is certainly over. They tied it. So I got to give them a little bit of credit.
24-7. Wasn't ever 24-7?
It was never 24-7. It was 20. Yeah, because it was a game, or no, not the game-winning field goal. Yeah, he made the field goal with 2 minutes left, right?
Got it. Yeah, got it.
No. Sorry. It was earlier in the game. There's a level of good to letting young guys ease into things, but when those plays get blown up, confidence is shot. Yep. Play like conflicts. Yeah. I felt like Miami at the end played not to lose, and it could have ended badly. Sure.
Exactly how I Kiffin. Yep.
Yeah, the over was an electric sweat, depending on what you got the number on, because that was that opened. I think that opened 54, and it got down to 49.5, and then it went back up to 51.5. By the way, Steak, is there does anybody hear an echo of me on Steak's computer? No, I feel like I hear something, but I don't know what that is. No. Okay, good. 50.5 gang. Yeah. Good shit. So anyways, we don't have to hog or spend all the time on Miami, Notre Dame, but you got to be feeling real good if you bet on Miami, because again, you got guys in the trenches, you got an experienced quarterback, and you got some weapons too. I mean, that Tony guy's fucking speed was unbelievable. Then their running backs are nothing special, but they ran hard.
Yeah.
That's a scary team in the ACC.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
So, all right. Let's go to, I guess now maybe let's play it. Let's go back to Thursday.
Yeah. Or do you want to talk about the other game yesterday, since it's fresh on everyone's mind?
Yeah, I guess let's go with the fresh games. Let's go with the freshest game. So we'll work our way backwards. Talk to me about South Carolina, Virginia Tech. You had a wager on South Carolina. You said South Carolina by murder. It was a really ugly game. I watched a lot of it, just about all of it. It was a tough watch, but you cashed your bet. Nice job. Good read there. What was your takeaway on both those teams?
Well, Virginia Tech, they just made like a lot of things that I feel like won't happen in their other games happened in this game. So I'm prepared to say that might be the worst game Virginia Tech plays all year. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm prepared to take away the respect from South Carolina. But I've basically come to this conclusion. I don't know that I think South Carolina's good.
Sure.
It's not, I don't think they're trash. I think they have enough explosive players to win big games and make big plays. I think Nick Harbour is a perfect example. Obviously, Lenora Sellers is. But I also think South Carolina is going to drop a few games they shouldn't. That's the team they remind me of. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like thinking, like, I don't know, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but I could
I
see.
do.
Okay, go
Well,
through a few games.
South Carolina State, Vanderbilt, at Missouri, Kentucky, then LSU.
Yeah, so like I could see them for no like competing with LSU, right? But losing to Missouri or something like that. Not that
Sure.
losing to Missouri would be that big of an upset, but I'm just giving examples. Like
Right.
they're that kind of team. They're going to show up to these big games and they're going to drop a few they shouldn't. I don't think it's like a consistently solid football team. And after 1 week of watching them play, I could say they wouldn't be somebody I'd have going to the playoff or make it a run in the SEC. No disrespect. I actually think I'm a South Carolina believer, but yeah, I wasn't overly impressed.
Totally agree with this. There was no rhythm in the offense. There was no flow. And it was really a busted play, a big play, or nothing. And I feel like that's not a recipe for success long term. And that will get you beat by some. It doesn't have to be a fucking LSU, like you were saying, but it could be like a Missouri. I think you're spot on with that take. Sellers made a couple plays where you're like, damn, like this guy's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
But throughout the entirety of the game, underwhelming, right?
Oh, absolutely. The opening drive, I was like, holy shit, this is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were just fucking mediocre. There was a punt return for a touchdown, and there was a deep bomb to Nick Harbor, which I feel like they're going to try to go for one of those every single game. And also, like, Kyron Drones, I give him the hate. He deserves the hate, I guess. This motherfucker's running back did him no favors. The drop third down pass was crazy, and the wide receivers did him no favors at all. Like, nobody did Kyron Drones any favors. I really, really think Virginia Tech is a lot better than they played or than the scoreboard indicates in this game.
That's fair. I thought some of at times their defensive line was nasty. Their defensive ends and even in the interior they were getting after Sellers quite a bit. Kyron Drones finished the game 15 of 35, 220 yards, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown.
Pretty bad.
I'm with. Oh yeah, Dylan Stewart, by the way, as pointed out by Royal. Guy was a freak. I saw he almost got hurt. I was like, oh, you hate to see that fucking happen. I think I'm out on Kyron Drones. And he's a guy you want to believe is good, but I just don't think he is. Can he get better? Am I out on him entirely? Maybe not, but he at times, no, I'll put it this way. Overall, do you want Kyron Drones to be your starting quarterback for your college football team? No, he does not excite me. He does not excite me.
Yeah, I'm not ready to die on a Kyron Drones hill.
No. So I'll give him like 3 more games, and then I will officially say I'm out on Kyron Drones. Out. And Krabs just unsubscribed. That motherfucker never subscribed to begin with. I did see Krabs say he was it's very frustrating to be a Virginia Tech fan. I gotta tell you, I think it sounds miserable to be a Virginia Tech fan. I know Krabs went to the school, so it's a little bit different. But as soon as those, you know what it is? I don't know. Like something just changed with Virginia Tech. They've been so bad for so long. Like even with Fuentes, I wanted to believe in Fuentes. I don't remember if you remember their coach. He was awful. Those jerseys,
like Memphis or something like that.
Yeah. Those jerseys were terrible. That Virginia.
Those jerseys were bad. Those are bad Virginia Tech jerseys to open your year.
Those you are that disgusting maroon burgundy, or you're nothing, or your white jerseys. That orange was hideous. That was a uniform,
especially when South Carolina's jerseys fucked so hard. South Carolina's jerseys were hard, boy.
Yeah. So the Cox win 24-11. RIP to anybody who had the Hokies in that game. It was ugly. It was close for a little bit. All right, let's go. So that's it for yesterday. Let's talk Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do, because I think we should get into this Texas Ohio State game. It'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Arch Manning. So Ohio State wins 14-7. I thought Texas played a really bad game. I thought Arch Manning did not look very good. And there's a lot of layers to this game, because on the flip side, I have to give Ohio State credit. Like, I think they came out, they looked solid. I thought Ohio State looked solid. I didn't think they necessarily looked great. They didn't play a fantastic game. I mean, they still only scored 14 points and almost let Texas come back and tie it. But I liked what I saw from Sayin. 13 of 20, 126 yards, 1 touchdown. Did not blow anybody away. CJ Donaldson, 19 carries, 67 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. Nothing crazy. Then you got a little bit bailed out. That was an underthrow to Carnell Tate. He made an unbelievable grab. Jeremiah Smith with the drops. I mean, by the way, give me a break with changing your gloves. Changing your gloves because you dropped 2 passes. How about you just fucking own the drops and make a play?
Yeah.
Changing the fucking gloves. I know this sounds stupid. I'm not out on Jeremiah Smith. He's incredibly talented. But even if I was an Ohio State fan, that's a fucking lame move. Sorry. Oh, it was my gloves. Give me a fucking break. But there's something off.
Shit, right? Jeremiah fucking Smith. He should immediately catch a pass. You don't believe that it was because he changed the gloves. You don't believe that.
Yeah, give me a fucking break. I didn't think CJ Donaldson was anything great, but it's hard to tell because Texas defense is probably one of the better defenses in college football. I know I was listening to Ramble and MJ, and he was kind of attacking the Texas defense with all this turnover. And then I heard him on the fucking TV, on the commentators are like, oh, there's 3 preseason All-Americans on this defense. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know anybody's name, but they're going to be talented. They can recruit. So, but I thought Sane was really poised for a freshman making his first start in what could be one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah.
I thought he was really poised. He didn't make any mistakes. Arch Manning, I'm not writing him off. I'm not totally out on him.
You can. It would be stupid.
There's something off with his throwing motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard people talk about this. And I was going down the depths of the comment section. People were saying there's a shoulder injury that nobody's talking about. His throwing motion is bizarre. First of all, he's sideways. And every time he throws it, I was talking about this when I went on the live stream and poured a cocktail. He like puts a little prayer into it. Like, I'm hoping for the best. Not really as accurate. I didn't like his mechanics. I'm no quarterback whisperer, but what pissed me off the most, if I was a Texas fan or a Texas backer, he threw the ball in the dirt on like 3 separate 5-yard passing routes. Yeah. Just throw it in the fucking dirt. Missing crossing routes. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Big one on the last drive too. Very disappointed with him. Biggest problem, Steve Sarkisian. Horrible coaching job. Again, similar to Notre Dame. You missed a couple throws with Arch, but dude, they were running the ball. This team had 37 rushing attempts. 37. Steak. The team that won the game had 34. And the team that had a lead the entire game had more rushing attempts. I understand trying to take some off of your young quarterback here and try to get the running game going. It's not working. And Ohio State is not the type of team with that front 7 where all of a sudden you're going to bust one through. I thought they should have kept taking more shots. I think they really limited and put the training wheels on Arch Manning for far too long. Kind of like what Notre Dame did with CJ Carr. I know he wasn't accurate. I know he didn't look great. He connected here and there on a few. I thought he should have been letting it loose way more early in the game. What's your takeaway?
Well, I have to highlight this comment by Royal because when we talked about liking Ohio State, everyone was like, oh, they fucking got Matt Patricia like he's a joke. Like Matt Patricia wouldn't be a really fucking good defensive coordinator for a college football team. And like there's not a reason that he got hired at the Ohio State University. I thought that was such a funny thing everybody was saying, like he's fucking trash.
Me too.
Masterclass. Matt Patricia, masterclass. Absolute fucking masterclass. One of the best defensively called games you'll ever fucking see. I'm not going to sit here and shit on Arch Manning, even though I think it was a really good take that we both put together. Like, okay, if Julian Sayan's unproven, then so is Arch Manning, because Arch Manning is unproven. And he looked like it out there. He looked like a new college quarterback because that's what he is, regardless of what his last name is. I think there's cause for concern because, like you said, some of those throws weren't even fucking close. And I don't recall that many bad drops by Texas or anything like that. I recall a lot of really bad quarterback play from Arch Manning, but it's an impossible thing to ask somebody to do. Go to Ohio State and open up the season like that. Sounds fucking absolutely brutal, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But do I think Arch Manning is winning the Heisman? No, I don't think Arch Manning is winning the Heisman. I don't know that he'll make a run at it, to be honest. I see he's still like plus 750, which means Vegas still believes, and there's probably people out there that still believe. But no, I don't think this year Arch Manning is good enough to win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I wasn't a Patricia guy. Not even, I understand your point, but I also just thought he was a goober. And I don't necessarily know that I think goobers can relate very well to college kids, but it might not matter.
Chip Kelly's a goober.
Yeah. What I'm realizing is most college head coaches are goobers.
Yeah, and in coordinating, if you're a good coordinator, you're a good coordinator.
Yep. Great start to the season. Relied on the D and play conservative, saying, want to know we move. Yeah. Yeah. And I thought Ohio State they just look so big, so strong, so scary. Um, Carnell Tate obviously looked very good. Smith with the drop, still be fine. Gotta like what you saw from saying. Nothing but positive takeaways from Ohio State. Really, really, really disappointing with and Steve Sarkisian, I believe, 1-4 against top 5 opponents.
Yeah, he's bad. But I think I'd say the negative from Ohio State, ironically, is that it was a pretty bad showing from Jeremiah Smith.
Sure. Yeah. Dog's fave short. Yeah, I just don't understand how anybody with piles of cash could bet on Arch Manning from what they saw from him last year. I mean, it was just such a small sample size, but I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, those home teams that are underdogs, and I know Ohio State opened the favorite, but they were an underdog at one point. And it's like the disrespect. It's crazy. It's pretty impressive response that they had. And again, kudos to Ryan Day as well. I'm not the biggest Ryan Day guy, but you got to give credit where it's due. All right, Steak. I think the next game we should probably talk about is Florida State, Alabama.
Yeah.
Florida State wins outright 31-17. They were a 14-point underdog. I'm going to go run real quick and get a cough drop. My throat's on fire. I'll just tee it up this way, and then I'll come back and give my thoughts. You were a big Alabama believer. So, hey, how about this? As good as you're looking right now about Carson Beck in Miami, Alabama was a pretty bad take so far. But it's one game. It's one game.
It's one really bad game. I don't see the bounce back for DeBoer here as a fucking guy who really believed in him. I think I was just
talk Alabama. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah. So to be honest with you, obviously I was high on Alabama, horrible read, but I did know that there was no way to figure out Florida State going into this game, and I even told myself that. Then, getting over being sick at my buddy's house, had a few drinks, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this, man. This team was 2-10 last year. They're going to be dog shit. Alabama's going to dog walk these teams. DeBoer's tired of hearing about last year. Like, they're just going to come out firing. I know Alabama went up 7-0, but after that, it was so fucking obvious that FSU was the better team. And that's what's a crazy takeaway for me from this game is it's not that FSU upset Alabama. It's that I truly believe if you lined up these two teams right now again and played that game again, FSU would dog walk them again because none of it was fluky. Like, none of that game was fluky. FSU fucking dominated them in so many ways. And I knew I should have laid off FSU. Castellanos, awesome fucking game. You could tell that guy had a gigantic fucking chip on his shoulder. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've seen a chip that big on a fucking guy's shoulder in a long, long time. But yeah, they beat them 31-10 after Bama went up 7-0. They absolutely dog walked them. And I honestly think you can't deny that FSU win didn't look fluky whatsoever. And yeah, like all these things get exciting now. Florida State, Miami, October 4th. Mm-hmm. The hype's already back from that game. Just took one win like that.
Florida State, 49 rushes, 230 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, 4 rushing touchdowns. Castellanos was 9 for 14, 152 yards. Doesn't sound like much, but 9 completions for 152 yards, actually really impressive. He looked great. He was my MVP from the weekend. And, even if you just don't even look at the box score, there's things that you can't measure. Every single play, he played like it was his last. That was my cliche saying that applied to Tommy Castellanos. It's Castellanos. I didn't see that at Boston College. I mean, I saw a guy that was capable of playing quarterback and being somewhat of a dual threat. I didn't see a guy who was going to play his fucking dick off like that. Then you know what I love? I love when teams give bulletin board material and back it up, because I'm the kind of guy I fucking hate either the team I like or the team that I bet on gives bulletin board material, because I'm like, well, we're done. The other team's going to get fired up. You're fucked. How about LSU comes out with 1-0 shirts on in the warm-ups? We'll get to them in a second. And Castellanos says, Nick Saban isn't there. I don't see how they can stop me. And they couldn't fucking stop him. This motherfucker puts his fucking talks the talk and walks the walk. 20 first downs, 5 of 12 on third down, 382 total yards. I mean, this was just absolutely a masterclass by Florida State. Here's where I'm at, though. And I didn't hear you talk about this too much in your recap, so I'd like to lean into it a little bit. As good as Florida State is, we'll come back to them. Yeah. But how much are you what's your takeaway from Alabama? Like, are we
Horrible.
okay? So we're ringing the alarms on Alabama.
Absolutely, dude. That guy looked like he was terrified to be out there playing quarterback. There were so many things he did that I think were red flags from a quarterback. And I hated the way that Alabama looked on the sidelines, like they didn't know what was coming. It's like you've had a whole offseason with this team. You're telling me they look this much better in practice all fucking offseason, and then this is the first time you've ever seen them look like this, soft bitches. Let's be honest, they were getting fucking smacked around. FSU looked like Alabama. They were smacking these fucking dudes around. And Ty Simpson had that one where he easily could have picked up that 3rd and 7, and he threw it for some reason. I mean, he was fucking ass. And one more thing I want to say about, bro, a guy who can't coach but can be a coordinator, Gus Malzahn. Come on, dog.
Yep.
That motherfucker, masterclass. Absolute Gus Malzahn masterclass. And I'm a hater because I live in Orlando. I've dealt with the fucking drop-off of UCF, and I'm like, this guy sucks. Talk about another guy with a chip on his shoulder. He was fucking excited to be there, dude. Gus Malzahn, I think you got to look out for Florida State, dude. I don't think that win was fluky at all.
Yeah. There's, again, week 1 is all about overreactions, but sometimes there are just real takeaways in teams that look legit and are legit. So I'd be curious to know what everybody thinks of those teams, of who are the overreactions that look good but aren't going to be as good, look really bad but are actually going to be good. Alabama could be that team. I understand. I mean, I don't think I told you this the other day. I don't think you realize, or I realized, but you start to see it circulate on Twitter, how trendy of a pick Alabama ended up being to win it all. And Josh Pate, the bald head guy with the white t-shirt, I think he does a phenomenal job. I watched his live stream recapping, and he, egg on his face, he, on his bracket prediction, he had Alabama going the entire way. And he owned up to it, which is great, obviously. But I did not realize that Alabama, talent-wise, people were saying they had the second best roster in college football. To lose a game like that.
Yeah, I knew that. They have one of the most highly rated defenses in college football history. It's crazy what they just did to them.
As bad as I thought Ty Simpson looked, I'm not going to write him off. He could be a football player. It's his first start. He's a young kid. If you have that much talent, it really, in my mind, comes down to coaching. And that is, I want to give DeBauer a chance. I really do, because it's year 1 at Alabama. You went 9-3. Saban's year 1 at Alabama's terrible too. But holy fuck, man, there's some clips coming out, some tape coming out. The effort on that defense. It was like a wide receiver end around for Florida State. What did they run, 3 or 4 of them? And every single time I feel like they got 10, 15, 20, 30 yards. And it was like Alabama's defense, like, like just lackadaisical out there. I could not believe what I saw, but kudos to Florida State. I was talking about this.
Man, I pride myself on not being stubborn, and I'm a DeBoer guy. I have been, obviously. I've said that a million times. And if they would have lost a close game to FSU where FSU got a few bounces and it seemed fluky, I'd probably still be on here this morning saying like, nah, Bama will be fine. DeBoer will be fine. Still backing my guy. Nothing fluky about that, man. He got his dick kicked in a very disrespectful way. And I think if you're a fucking DeBoer shareholder, you got to be out on the guy. There's so many reasons to be out on the guy.
Yep. I give you a white D on Bama. Not try. Josh Payton, cover 3, a must listen to. I don't know that there's anything better.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, Pate's great. Cover 3 is great. Love cover 3. Was listening to their reactions as well. So okay. What I wanted to tell you is when I was at the bar with Drew last night, we were talking about FSU and we looked at their schedule, and I saw Stuckey put out a tweet about this. I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, no, you know what? Letdown spots. Like selling high on a team. Let's go fade Florida State. I looked at their next 2 opponents. Steak. Do you have any idea?
It's East Texas A&M and Kent State.
Yeah.
But then it's Miami.
They play Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Not in. That's a game you could be worried as a look ahead game because that's before Miami. Virginia has a good quarterback, man.
Sure. So they play Miami at home, they play at Clemson, and they play at Florida. Virginia Tech, they do go to Stanford. I mean, all I'm saying is this, and Drew had a pretty interesting point. Maybe you'll look to make the playoff. They don't have to win the ACC.
It's the overreaction of the week, but I'm here for it.
I looked at the odds. What do you think they were?
Ooh.
I know. Now I'm playing this game for you.
Plus 260.
No, plus 470.
Oh, okay. Well, they don't think they have any chance to beat Miami, Florida, or Clemson because they beat one of those teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, well, did the second place team make it last year? They did. SMU made it last year. So I think that could be something worth considering. But kudos to the Seminoles, and it'll be interesting to see if Alabama can bounce back because great quote, by the way, also from Drew. He was on fire this weekend. Steak, you were as well. Nice banger that Bleacher Report picked up. He said Kalen DeBoer is going to get his family killed. Let's hope that does not happen, obviously.
Ugh.
All right. Another marquee game that we should talk about. Well, we could kind of just skim over. We can touch on some of these other smaller games, but for the most part, let's go to the big boys. Saturday night, LSU Clemson. So LSU wins outright as a 4.5-point dog, 17-10. Game stays under. I played the over. I thought we were going to finally get, it had been kind of an ugly day of college football. I thought we were finally going to get some points. I was being obviously a little square, primetime game. Shout out to Crutch. He hit me. Crutch gives me a fucking bet a month ago, and I'm like, please remind me. He doesn't remind me. I go back into the DMs. He goes under in LSU Clemson, primetime, and 2 Heisman candidate favorites. That sounds nasty and contrarian.
Crutch was in his fucking bag this
Give it up
weekend.
for Crutch bags. I'm going to make a tweet a little bit later. I got to give Crutch his flowers. Also, shout out Cam Money. He had a great read on that too. 2 resident sharps here in the degenerate community. By the way, I see we are buzzing on YouTube right now. Can you guys do us a favor? Can you make sure you subscribe to the page and like the stream? And appreciate all you guys liking and engaging with the best bets video. We put out the week 0 and the week 1 bets. We already see an increase in viewership. Really appreciate that. We're going to keep grinding, even with State going out of town. We'll make sure we get those. More corp. Yeah, we do need to be more corp. Smash that like button. Alan Dim said it. LSU fucking dominated. LSU could have won that game. Probably should have won that game by 4 touchdowns. 4 scores. 4 scores. Steak, I'll let you kind of lead this one because I want to end it because I'm leaning into a hunch, and I bought some stock on LSU. But what was your first of all, did you have a wager in the game? And second of all, what was your takeaway from Clemson?
LSU.
You took LSU. Good job. Good job. All right, you were in your Duffy.
Yeah, I had some bad ones too, but we'll go through them. But this was one where I think we came to the conclusion that we nailed that at some point LSU started to seem like value, and Clemson started to seem overhyped. Good call by MJ, shitting on Cade Klubnik all fucking of the past 2 weeks, saying he sucks against good competition. He looked like dog shit. And good call by Royal, who'd been fucking sounding the alarm that this LSU defense would be much improved. They were. LSU defense is the MVP unit of this fucking game. Nussmeier looked fine. I know everyone's sucking him off. I think Nussmeier did look good, and I'm not hating because that one touchdown that he threw where they overturned it was a dot. Absolute beautiful throw. And honestly, I think it was a touchdown. I don't know what a fucking catch is anymore. I have no idea. I just know that Miami wide receiver absolutely caught it. But I think the quarterback play was so bad from other guys that were sort of a little bit overselling Garrett Nussmeier. Not hating, but 230 and 1 touchdown. I'm not throwing him a party for that. I know he's the new Heisman favorite. He did look the most poised and probably, all things considered, in a big game, had the best quarterback play. Maybe you could argue Carson Beck, but honestly, I think Carson Beck has better games out there for sure. But anyways, I think the most exciting thing, if you're an LSU fan, is that you got the monkey off your back with Brian Kelly in the season openers, and you finally have a defense. You already knew you had an offense. Everyone already knew they have an offense every year. They had the Heisman winning quarterback and still lost 4 games. So this year you got to be really, really excited if you're LSU that you put up that defensive performance against Clemson.
Yeah. Kudos giving my MJ and Royal their flowers because they both had great calls in this game. But I did have a little bit of an issue with MJ on the Sunday morning stream when I was tuning in. He was downplaying LSU's win because Cade Klubnik was so bad and kind of not giving LSU's defense their credit. I wanted to push back a little bit because, yes, Cade Klubnik is not very good. Dabo is not very good against SEC opponents, and they shit down their leg. He did it against fucking South Carolina, and we're not going to praise them just yet. So I understand where he's coming from to a certain extent. It was still a game on the road in Clemson at night. That's not a game Clemson loses very often. And let's look at it this way. That's not a game Brian Kelly wins very often.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, one of the biggest transformations I have seen watching college football. You hear that, Alan Dims, fuckface, watching college football is LSU's defense from 2 years ago to what they look like now. I don't care who they played. I legitimately do not care who they played. They look like they were The Little Giants. I don't even know if anybody knows that fucking movie anymore. How old is our audience? I don't know. Rugrats. And they have grown up. They have grown up to basically be like the cast of Friends. They look like adults, competent football players playing defense. Whereas before they were nowhere to be found. They couldn't tackle. Their effort was piss poor. A lot of credit goes to Blake Baker, the guy they got from Missouri, I believe, defensive coordinator in year 2. What do we know about defensive coordinators in year 2? They typically do very well. First year, you're installing the system. Doesn't happen overnight. Harold Perkins is healthy. He's a fucking freak, but still, even when he was healthy, they couldn't really figure out how to use him. That was the big knock. I don't know what happened. I don't know who they have. I don't know if the transfer portal. I don't know if it was recruits.
Oh, yeah. Monster Delane from Virginia Tech. He was the defensive MVP. How bad is that for Virginia Tech? Like, can't keep these fucking guys around. Had to pick. He was the best defensive player on the field, with the exception of maybe Harold Perkins. He was awesome. He was fucking awesome.
They looked so good. They were flying around. They were making plays. And you know what they didn't do? They didn't panic. And I'm going to tell you right now, we shit on Brian Kelly. And I know this guy's a piece of shit human being. I know he's a scumbag. And yes, he killed a kid. I understand. But you cannot deny that Brian Kelly is a winner. He has coached for 40 years. He has won everywhere he goes. He went to LSU to win a championship. You play dirty in college football. This is a dirty motherfucker. And I'm telling you right now, I said this with Jaden Daniels. I said the type of guy Brian Kelly needs at quarterback is one that can run and throw. That's why I bet him to win the Heisman. Brian Kelly had not had that at Notre Dame, but his defense was so bad, they only went 8-4. With a defense and an experienced quarterback who's not making mistakes, and then weapons, they got speed at receiver. And most importantly, I haven't heard this guy's name one time. My biggest takeaway from LSU, they ran the fucking football. LSU ran the fucking football. You know who I am in love with? Caden Durham, this running back for LSU. I could not believe how well this guy was running. 17 carries, 74 yards. He averaged 4.4 yards a carry and a touchdown. When I have not seen LSU have a good running back since Brian Kelly's been there, unless I'm missing something. Their running game has been non-existent. Durham was a beast, and their offensive line, replacing 4 or 5 guys that they lost last year, did fine. I thought they looked great. You made a very good point about Nussmeier. He wasn't flashy, but you know what? I think with an LSU team like this, if they have a good defense, and I hate to tell you guys this, they do have a good head coach, although that fourth down handling of whatever they were doing was unbelievably awful. He does that every time. But if you got a quarterback like Nussmeier who's going to go out there and manage the game, not make mistakes, not make turnovers, I think you're going to be a real problem.
Yeah.
So I took LSU to win the championship 10-1. And I did this because if I said Brian Kelly was going to win a championship within 5 years at LSU. I think he's been there 4. So this might be my last time. I got to put my money where my mouth is. And
Sure.
it feels like by far the best team, overall complete team that he's got. So call it an overreaction because Clemson is actually not very good. I'm okay with that, but I'll overreact it on LSU. I'll buy in on LSU. And the last thing I want to say, I'm so fucking sick of Dabo Swinney. I am so fucking sick of Clemson. Why, oh, why do we always just assume this team is fucking elite? Why? Were you really impressed with anybody on Clemson in that game? Anybody?
No.
I don't know that I was impressed by one fucking person. And then this is what I started to think. Who is the best defender in the NFL from Clemson?
Oh, AJ Terrell. No, we're definitely forgetting a big defensive lineman.
Sure. Quinnen Williams, or was he Alabama?
I don't think Quinnen Williams was Clemson. There's definitely a guy. Oh, cool. Cleveland Farrell.
Seriously. No, I got a point there that I'm making.
Yes, I can't think of any.
Dexter Lawrence. Okay, how long ago was that? Peter Boulware or Michael Boulware? What happened to him? Where is he? Isaiah Simmons. Remember him?
Oh, Christian Wilkins. Thank you. And he's gone.
It was Wilkins.
Yeah.
Brother, I'm starting to think all these guys are overrated as fuck. All they do is play well. You had a great point about Damian Martinez and Xavier Restrepo thinking they were weapons, and then they can't do dick on fucking teams in the NFL. They can't even find a team. I'm starting to think at Clemson overall, their talent and everything about them is overrated. I'm fucking out on them, and I am certainly out on Cade Klubnik. So kudos to MJ there. But
I'll go on. I have to disagree with you. I'm not doing that overreaction. I'm not out on Clemson or their guys yet. Bad game, bad showing.
What guys are you in on?
Still in on Avion Terrell, TJ Parker. I'm still in on Cade Klubnik. And I'm drawing a blank, and I shouldn't be, on the receiver Williams, but he did get hurt early in the game. And then I forget if he worked his way back in, but I'm still very in on Clemson. I'm not overreacting. Clemson will be in the college football playoff.
Because of the ACC being bad? Or because they're good?
I don't think Clemson's bad. I'm not buying that yet. Sorry. Totally good to give anyone that wants to say Bama's bad. I'll give you that. I can't fully be out on Clemson yet. I can't do it.
I'm out. I'm fucking out on Clemson. So does that mean you're impressed with LSU?
I'm so impressed with LSU's defense.
Okay. Yeah, I am too. And overall, as a team, even on the offense as well. Okay, let's go through some of these other games in college football, and then we'll go back to Thursday as well. So, I did not see any of Penn State or Georgia State. Did you?
A little bit of Georgia got hooked on the -38.5. Pretty fucking brutal. I still don't know that Gunnar Stockton is a good passing quarterback. I know he had almost 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. I don't know what to think about that.
73 yards rushing. Yep.
Yeah. So nothing else really got fucking hooked. Pretty brutal.
Okay. Kansas State almost lost to North Dakota. Avery Johnson, 28-43, 313 yards and 3 touchdowns. Chris Kleiman might be a bad coach.
Yeah, he might be a bad coach. That might be a bad team. I'm fully out on that team. Fully out on that team.
Texas A&M did look pretty good. Their offense, Marcel Reed, 22-34, 289, 4 touchdowns. A legacy backdoor from UTSA. It was not Owen McCown's best performance. The Texas A&M offense definitely has potential to be very lethal.
Is he done, chat? Is he done? Is he done talking about Texas A&M? Yes or no?
I was like, what is wrong? Did like a bomb go off?
Is he done?
Yeah, I'm done.
God, I don't fucking want to talk about that fucking game. After getting hooked by fucking Indiana -13.5 live and getting hooked by Georgia, I'm like, okay, finally. Like, I feel like I had really good reads today. Getting hooked twice sucks. Texas A&M. I'm going to hit this shit with Royal, and then he fucking throw the most beautiful pass he's thrown all game. 40-yard fucking dot for no motherfucking reason. God, that shit broke me. Absolutely fucking broke me, dude. I sat there. I actually watched it, and I sat there for like 40 seconds frozen. Just frozen.
Yeah, but you didn't even mention that was UTSA's backup.
Yeah, I think it was their third stringer.
What happened to the backup?
No idea.
What happened to Owen McCown?
Oh, God.
Did he get hurt or benched?
No, I don't think he got benched.
Oh, Concepcion's awesome.
He was it's a good question. I actually don't know the answer.
Yeah, he was not very good.
Yeah,
he had a couple nice
guys. Fuck, yep.
Yep, Concepcion's great. They'll be an interesting team to watch. Louisville, love what I saw from Louisville, 51 points. Obviously, I know it's Eastern Kentucky. It doesn't matter that much, but Brown had 6 carries, 126 yards. Unfucking believable. So Louisville's a team I'm very high on this year. We'll be curious to see how their offense does. I played Kentucky -9.5, and that was a miserable game. Toledo did nothing all game. They had a safety, and then they go down in 7 plays. They drove the ball 95 yards to score a touchdown against Kentucky's prevent defense. But at the end of the day, I bet on that fucking idiot quarterback for Kentucky. What was that stupid moron's name? Zach Calzada?
I want to go on. I won't be a sore loser. I have no problem putting my hand up. And I didn't even bet Kentucky. I thought it was the right read. I'd bet Kentucky again if that game was today. I think it was the right read. Genuinely believe it was the right read.
10 for 23. This fucking quarterback was.
Toledo was worse. Toledo was awful. Everyone was talking like these fucking guys were going to light it up, and they absolutely didn't. I wish we had a better read, like team total under, but yeah, no, that missed me with Toledo.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Trying to see if there's anything else worth a shit. This quarterback for Iowa. Listen, they won 34-7. I'm not trying to shit on him too much here, but Gronowski, 8 of 15, 44 yards. I'm going to tell you right now, I get clowned for, you're watching spring tape. What else are you supposed to fucking watch? What else are you supposed to fucking watch? Oh, South Dakota State highlights? Yeah, that means shit. Why do you think Arch Manning's good? Yo, you watched him play in high school? Watch the fucking spring tape. Gronowski does not look ready for the big stage. I'm telling you right now, he doesn't look ready. 8 of 15, 44 yards.
That's actually concerningly bad.
Pump the fucking brakes. And I'll tell you, I haven't seen Special K in here. Kevin, I'm about to rip him a new fucking asshole because this guy loves Iowa because, they have a quarterback, but meanwhile disrespects Rocco Becht,
Yeah,
disrespects
let me glaze you, dude. Let me glaze you.
plays me.
Iowa State, dude. Iowa State. What a good fucking read. They
Thank you.
absolutely skull fucked South Dakota 55-7. Rocco Becht had one incompletion, 3 touchdowns. Beautiful fucking read on the travel back from Ireland. That was a fucking just the easiest play. Easiest play.
Yeah. And I missed it. On Hard Rock, I saw the line was like 14.5 everywhere. On Hard Rock, it was 16.5. And I go, I swear to fuck, if they win by 2 touchdowns, I'm going to be so pissed. So I bought it down to 13.5 minus 145. Thanks a lot, Hard Rock. It's only won like fucking 0.68 units, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I just like being right. Again, I understand, like, they're college kids. How much jet lag can you really have? You come back, you got Iowa. Oh, it's a look ahead spot, travel, this and that. They just survived. I love betting on a team that survives. And we did it with UNLV. We'll get to them in a second, but I love betting on a team that survives a scare or wins a game maybe they shouldn't have in the following week. They feel loose. They play with house money, and it's their fucking opener in their new stadium in front of their fans. Rocco Becht is a quarterback. All right, put some fucking respect on his name. Steak, I don't really see anything else worthy of talking about. USC put up 73 points.
We got to talk about a few. How about the fucking Tennessee Volunteers?
Oh, yeah. Hey, great job by you.
I mean, dude, he fucking looked great. They looked great. 45 points. I don't care if it was against Syracuse. Putting up 45 with Joey Aguilar. Tennessee, you got to like what you saw. That was a very impressive showing offensively. I thought there was a couple concerns here and there defensively, but I also like Steve Angeli, which I know you do too. He actually didn't play horrible. But yeah, I mean, he looked really fucking good. Mississippi State, dude. Blake Shapen, almost 300 yards passing. Absolutely fucking way better than last year. I got my eyes on Jeff Lebby, dude. I just like the guy, and he's got a quarterback, and I think they could be competitive this year when they weren't last year. Got my eyes on him. And you want me to keep going?
No, hold on.
Okay.
I got my eyes. I've told you this from the start. Steve Angeli at Syracuse. I know you did a nice job touching on him. Let's give him a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
I said I might fade him in week 1 and take their team total under, but I didn't at the last second because I'm like, I'm an Angeli guy. Why am I going to do this? 23 of 40, 274 with a touchdown interception against Tennessee in your first game at Syracuse on the road with a bunch of new faces and a whole new system. You know what I loved about this? This is under the radar stats right here. Okay, that's why you tune into us. I don't even think Pro Football Focus is going to tell you this. How many receivers do you think had a catch of 20 yards or more on Syracuse?
Well, because you're asking, I'll say 4.
5.
Well, that's awesome.
That's fucking awesome. 5 different receivers had a catch of 20 yards or more. This was a balanced attack. And I'm going to tell you right now, Angeli is a dog. Keep your eye on the Syracuse Orangemen. Okay.
Keep your eyes on Joey Aguilar too, then. I think he might be a dog, bro.
He was 16 for 28. Can we relax?
Nah, I'm not relaxing. I liked what I saw.
Okay. I think you got to be more impressed with Joey.
What do you do on the ground?
Nothing
special.
Nothing.
I mean, he had 6 yards to carry on the ground.
He's fine. I'm not taking anything away from Joey Aguilar. He's fine, but I'm just saying the real
numbers don't tell the whole story in that one, but fine. I get what you're saying. It's fair.
Degen with 5 drops. Give him some credit. Angeli was the only thing keeping them in the game. He's a baller. Thank you very much. This guy wants to talk about fucking Joey Aguilar.
I do. Tennessee barely even led the offense to put up 45 points.
Yeah, I mean, they barely even fucking covered because Steve Angeli was up there. He wasn't going down.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you on Steve Angeli.
You don't sound with me. I want you to be all the way fucking
I am with you on Steve Angeli.
We are a Steve Angeli podcast, and you're over here trying to fucking double team with Joey Aguilar. No, focus.
No, I'm not focused. Well, are we a Steve Angeli podcast? Fine. Well,
we're more of a Steve Angeli podcast.
I'm trying to. You might want to get hip to Tennessee, bro. You might want to get hip to Tennessee.
I'm okay with that. But we need to separate. You can't just be like, yeah, a little bit of Syracuse and Steve Angeli and a little bit of Joey Aguilar at the same time. No.
Okay, fine. Next,
Mendoza.
Maryland.
Sorry.
Oh, Mendoza. No, you do. You could do yours first, then I'll go to Maryland.
Mendoza at Indiana. Are we worried about 18 for 31, 193 yards? Just very quickly.
I'm not worried.
Okay. Ole Miss. You watched Ole Miss. I didn't watch a second. We got Ole Miss. They ended up covering, beat the fuck out of Georgia State. Simmons, 20 of 31, 41 touchdowns and 3 TDs, but he did throw some interceptions. What were your thoughts on Ole Miss?
Didn't like the interceptions in the game like that where you didn't need to throw them. But, I mean, the guy's got all the tools, the arm, the fucking, like he can absolutely be a guy. I think he's going to be.
Trying to see what else here.
Maryland.
Go off, King.
Maryland fucking played Caden Veltkamp, who is a fucking experienced, very good quarterback, expected to be the player of the year in that conference with their true freshman, and it just absolutely dominated. I think Malik Washington, true freshman, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't care if it's against FAU. That's a hell of a debut when your other quarterback went to fucking Wisconsin and stunk it up against Miami of Ohio. I can't believe guys keep transferring to play quarterback at Wisconsin. I really can't. That's like an absolute death wish. You might as well just hop on LinkedIn if you're transferring to play quarterback for the Wisconsin fucking Badgers. But yeah, dude, you got to be really excited if you're a Maryland guy.
Zanman, what are you talking about? Is YouTube chat even working today? I see you. Brazelli looks nice with Joey Aioli. Yeah, sure.
But I haven't seen much from YouTube. I'll say that. You guys aren't talking much.
No. Why is Snowman telling me to stop it?
Because you were worried about Mendoza. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. By the way, he pointed out that Oklahoma's already steamed 2.5 to 5.5. I think it's Michigan, but we'll talk about that.
Can I talk about my worst read of the week real quick?
Does it rhyme with Schmorschmestern?
Yep.
Yeah, please go off, King.
Horrible read by me. And here's the thing. Another fucking thing Crutch tried to tell me that it was the Katrina anniversary, which was a really good tidbit in hindsight from Crutch. But what I didn't know was that Northwestern said they couldn't wear the Katrina commemorative jerseys or shirts. You saw that?
I did.
I would have never placed that bet. What a horrible bet. And
yeah,
what an idiot I am for doubting Jake Retzlaff, but for some reason believing Preston Stone would be a good fit for Northwestern. He had 4 picks. He was dog shit. They were dog shit. That was the worst read I've ever had, maybe. I mean, I literally should lose double units for how bad that read was on Northwestern.
I don't think that you can say it was a bad read just because of the motivation aspect. You also did not believe in a Jewish quarterback at Tulane.
Yeah.
So we had to educate you there. And then, do I not get any credit for telling you about Northwestern not being able to perform in weird places? I brought up their schedule last year. They went to fucking Washington. They put up 5 points.
No, you definitely get credit. You actually, I think, kind of tried to talk me off this way.
I did. I like Tulane. I had Tulane punched in. I took it out because I respected you.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I did that. So we did lose 2 units on that because I took away a unit from you. So yeah, I got what I deserved, I guess. Horrible read. I hope I don't have a worse one all year, but I will.
You absolutely will. Yeah. And you don't have to apologize because I almost took Mississippi State, which you liked, and then I didn't because I respected Ryan Sura's fucking read on Owner's Box that he gave me. I can't wait to go on there and talk about UNLV's.
I'm mad you didn't take Mississippi State.
I know.
I was spitting with Mississippi State.
There is
since I watched the documentary.
Yeah. I think you kind of have to glaze yourself a little bit on the Devin Dampier Utah.
Yeah, that's probably the last one.
I think when we previewed the Big 12, I didn't even know this guy was on fucking Utah, and then you talked about him transferring and was like, are we in on Devin Dampier because Kyle Whittingham is a good coach? They always have a good offensive line, and where there's no more CJ fucking or Cam Rising. You had a great rant about that, and so I didn't buy into him, unfortunately. But 21-25, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, a great start. I don't know if you took him to win the Heisman or not, but very, very good start. Utah 43-10, and fuck Nico and fuck UCLA.
Fuck Nico. But yeah, I'm a little worried that win was so dominant that the hype about Utah is about to reach a fucking fever pitch a little too quickly. But yeah, I have Utah to win the Big 12. I don't have Devin Dampier to win the Heisman. To be honest, I'm sure you could probably get him at a very similar price right now.
Sure.
As we could to the beginning of the season. I don't think anyone is on that train yet, but everyone's on the Utah train quickly.
Yep. Real quick, Cello God with Sub Bangs, B Kelly with Sub Bangs. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for always tuning in to the board review every weekday. This is the recap tomorrow. Since Steak is traveling, we might have to jam pack it tomorrow with college and NFL.
We might have to. Yeah, we might have to. Well, let's see. Let's figure out if we can get a fucking couple ball knowers up here and decide if is I know probably not Cam because he's got 4 kids now and he's on the West Coast.
No, but maybe mid-major can hop up.
And if it's mid-major, then me and you have to do college because he's not a college guy, and you and mid-major do NFL. The truth is I love the NFL, but I feel like there's more NFL guys out there.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. We'll do college week 2 tomorrow. All right. Let's take it back. Take it back now, y'all.
One more.
Cross. Go ahead.
Got to talk about the true freshman from Cal.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's real excited about him. That's one of my regrets of the fucking day is not. I knew I liked them against Oregon State, and I just didn't have the balls. I do not fucking fuck with Malik Murphy, dude.
No.
I do not fuck with Malik Murphy. I don't care where he goes. I saw him getting mad on the sideline, which I kind of respect. But first game there, I don't know, man. That guy stinks. I have big regrets about not getting on Cal.
You know who else we're not into? Phil Longo. Let's go to Friday. Sam Houston State. They lose 21-38. Shout out to the Sharps who moved that one from 13.5 to 9.5. UNLV, team to watch. Maybe. Yeah. Got an interesting spread and game next against UCLA next week. Steak, I didn't watch any of this game. Georgia Tech, Colorado. Georgia Tech wins 27-20. I'm not shitting on Crutch because Crutch is sharp and he's already off to a good start with his Rice future. By the way, when I sent out the college football futures in the newsletter on Thursday, Greg tells me on Friday morning, hey, by the way, Crutch's write-up is in the drafts in like a separate folder if you want to include it. I'm like, Greg, I just sent out the futures emailed yesterday. So Greg, fuck Greg. He's an idiot. But anyways, thank you, Crutch. I don't like fading Georgia Tech. I'm already uncomfortable. And I know that this is a game they were expected to win. So I'm not totally freaking out, but I mean, Haynes King, 19 carries, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like that's a problem. Like that was a gritty win on the road. And this team kind of scares me. That's all I'm saying. They kind of scare me. Did you have any takeaways from them?
Yeah, I was pretty unimpressed.
Okay, good. I like to hear that.
Had a few chances for Colorado to win that game, and I know Georgia Tech made a lot of mistakes, but I think Haynes King's going to lose a lot of games. He's a hell of a fucking lineup under center and fucking drill it down the fucking middle, and he was awesome on the ground, but I don't like him as a passer, and I am not a Georgia Tech guy. And nothing about the Georgia Tech Colorado game had me leaving being more of a believer in Georgia Tech than I was going into the game.
Oh wow!
I think they're one-dimensional. Yeah. I mean, that's whatever. He had a hell of a run on that touchdown. But yeah, Colorado looked like they were going to cover for just about all of that game.
I'd like to give a tip of the cap to everyone who had Baylor.
You mean
I'm sorry. Let me start over. I got distracted because I clicked the wrong tab and I saw that the Ohio State guy clipped something from what we said about Arch Manning. I'm excited to see what he said. Everybody who had Auburn, kudos to most of the Ramble crew. I think was on Auburn. MJ, I think Royal, I think Beeve was on him too. Beeve, I don't know if Beeve is Ramble or not Ramble, but he had his PODs are off to a hot streak. By the way, I didn't unfollow Beeve. I turned his notifications off.
You're crazy, dude.
I turned. Did you have Beeve? I had Beeve.
Game. I'm not turning his notifications off. He's the best during a game.
No. Beeve is not a sellout, but he is putting the makeup on and he's a full on engagement whore. You saw what he's doing intentionally now?
I know what he's doing, dude. I know what he does. I have more of the middle school humor than you do. So
yeah, you
that
do.
explains why I'm more of a Beef fan than you probably.
He doesn't capitalize the first letter in the word of his sentence, and he does that on purpose because that's aura for the kid. Beeves fan base, I don't know how many of them are over the age of 21, and that's fine. I got no issue with the 16 or 18 to 21 demographic. I got no issue, but this is trying way too hard to cater to the shitheads of the world.
The thing you're mad about is not capitalizing the first letter. That is not what I thought you were going to say.
Just started. My sister has done this. She's 22 years old now. She's done this ever since I've texted her. Beeve just started doing this. Steak, you don't have a problem with anything.
I am telling you right now, there's so many things you could say about Beeve and be right. There's no way not capitalizing the first letter of something is engagement farming. You know what's the definition of engagement farming?
What?
When he says, when the team scores, like, for example, South Carolina goes up 7-0, right? And then he says, you're a stupid ass, dumb fuck, dipshit idiot. If you bet Virginia Tech, delete your sports book, and then everyone gets mad.
Yeah. That's low hanging fruit.
He's doing it so you get mad.
I don't know.
Idiot. Like, it's crazy to see people react to that, but it works like a fucking charm. The capitalizing the letter thing is crazy.
I think it's crazy that you don't think it's crazy. In intentionally keeping it lowercase because the young generation likes that. I think it's stupid as fuck. It's like putting the $sign after the number. Can we fucking correct people?
Unk degen fucking argument.
Oh, the other thing that already started to get me, I think he tweeted about a cuck chair 5 times. How many times are we like that? Like, what is this? Is this like 18-year-olds? You just poke their belly button, you say cuck, and they're like, it's funny. Cuck chair. It's too much. I'm too old for Beeves humor. I think he's a great follow. I had to turn his notifications off. Every time I see a beef tweet, I get dumber. And that's not where I want to be in life. I'm trying to get smarter. I'm trying to, I mean, I'm just too old. I'm too old for this.
It is absolutely sports gambling brain rot.
It's the ultimate brain rot. And again, this is a guy who fucking said, I got a baby on the way and fucking I'm vulnerable and all this on that. I can't take him seriously.
All right, that's enough beef. But how about your two at ease joke on fucking on Twitter the other day?
I literally fucking do that because you guys hit me with it 100 times. 100 times you hit me with two at ease. And what about that guy Carson, by the way? I can't speak to him in normal English. This guy goes out there and he sucks on the teat of everybody that gives plays. He's like, what do you want? What do you like in this game? That's what Carson does. And he's on my fucking ass. Fuck him. Fucking Carson. I can't talk to him like an adult. I'll talk to him like beef. Cup chair, jerk off, cup chair.
Two dudes making out. You missed that? You missed the two guys making out?
My brain rotted enough. I'm done with the brain rot. I can't tolerate any more fucking brain rot at this age of my life. I got to get smarter.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's
sharp. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. You're not with me. Don't half-ass the I'm with you. You're not with me. You're fucking not with me. You're not with me at all.
You're just really worked up. Your fucking face has gotten like 3 to 4 shades redder since you started talking about beef. I know your fucking readiness score is dropping. I know your blood pressure is fucking going up. And I'm just honestly trying to be a good friend because if something bad happens on stream, there's going to be 130 people here to see it.
No, anyways, I like beef. He's a funny guy, but also I'm looking forward to seeing him play Krabs. I think that should be a pretty good matchup. Krabs is a competitive dude. Krabs is the guy I've been hearing him talk about his softball games. When I play like recreational sports that don't matter, I don't really give two flying fucks. Krabs, with all due respect, if he was on my team, I'd probably ask to go play for another team. He's too serious.
I want to see videos of Krabs playing basketball. I think we all deserve that because I know Prophet X or whoever is going to put up a line and we're going to have to gamble on it. And I need, like, you even did it. And honestly, you looked a little too good in your videos, which was a mistake. But I need to see a video.
I can fucking dribble. What do you want me to tell you?
It didn't look like it when you fucking were out there fucking gasping for air.
You mean with a guy with an 8-foot wingspan is clawing me?
Yeah, whatever you say, whatever you put on tape did not show up on game day. And I say that as your biggest investor. So whatever. I don't want to talk about you anymore. But Krabs needs to put out some tape, dude. 100%. I need to see him get a few fucking shots up. I need to see his crossover, you know. I need to see him in the post against Javon, something like that, dude.
I'm with you. And again, like I would probably bet on Beeve because I played him up close and personal. I know he's talented, but I'm not writing off Krabs. Like I think again, and I just gave you an example, the competitive spirit. Like I think he's a psychopath on if you challenge him to anything, he's a legitimate psychopath. I don't know. You can't put a price on that.
As a gambler, I wonder, does Krabs just want to cover the spread?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm probably writing off Krabs on the money line.
Yeah.
I think money line is a safe lay piece.
Yeah, it's Beeve money line. Move on. Right. Okay. But basically how I started this whole fucking rant, and I was giving everybody their flowers on Auburn. I think it is very impressive to take a stand and go in on Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers in week 1 on the road against Baylor. So I just wanted to tip my cap to anybody who played that. I thought that was a really, really impressive wager. Jackson Arnold looked pretty fucking good. I was way off on that one. I didn't play the game, but I would have leaned Baylor. Thought the spread was really telling. It was almost like Notre Dame being favored in Miami. I'm like, man, this is a lot of respect. So good job to anybody who played Auburn. I just wanted to throw that out there.
You noticed how only one guy called plays and only one guy played quarterback?
No. Nope, yeah, I didn't notice that.
Fucking 3 play callers and 3 quarterbacks. When they start talking like that, bro, you just have to fucking know that. It was a great read. It was a great read.
One of the most suspicious lines I think I saw was Army 14-point favorites against Tarleton. Shout out to anybody who played Tarleton, 14-point dogs, and they won outright. I think that was a really good wager. I hate to say this. I don't want to overreact, but Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska's Nebraska. I'm tired of talking about Nebraska.
Well, we got a lot of guys in here who smart guys who are Nebraska over wins.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. They might go over their wins. They might go over their wins, honestly. If you look at their schedule, it's fine. But they're fucking bleh.
Okay. The fucking NC State fucking rivalry game that they didn't cover. So annoying.
Yeah.
That quarterback for ECU, 30 of 44, 366 yards. Jesus Christ, you let a guy throw all over you on your home fucking.
Yeah, they actually had nothing of what I thought they were going to have.
Yeah.
Even though they were up 17-0, and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I expected. They had none of any of the dog I expected them to have. And that goes for the coach, that goes for the quarterback, that goes for the secondary. They had none of that.
And I would also like to just point out that as you were talking about South Florida and Byron Brown, awesome performance. Great performance. Call a fake punt. Awesome performance and very, very underwhelming for Boise State. I thought their quarterback looked atrocious.
Yeah. I guess things go bad when you don't have Ashton Genty back there.
Yep. All right. Any other takeaways, Steak?
Well, I like UNLV since we talked about it. San Jose State lost outright as 17-point favorites against Central Michigan, and Boise State got shit pumped by USF. And honestly, UNLV, I think I'm in on UNLV. I think I might want to take them to win the Mountain West. Horrible. Still got questions about the defense, but I like enough what I've seen from the running back. I like enough what I've seen from the receivers, Calandria, enough that I believe that Alex Orji is the backup quarterback. And I think I want to take UNLV to win this fucking conference.
I'm in. I listen, as I talked about when I went on Owner's Box, liked what I saw from the offense. We're not Dan Mullen guys, but it was a wake-up call for Idaho State to come out there and thrash you for 300 yards passing, 31 points. I don't know that the defense is good, but it wakes you up. You practice harder. You're more engaged. You're more locked in. Splash cold water on your face. You go on the road to Sam Houston State. And I mean, really, they dominated that game. Sam Houston State didn't do much offensively for the most part. They ended up getting 21, and it made it a little interesting late, but I'm okay with that. The offense is a problem. Calandria is a good quarterback. What are you shaking your head like that for?
Dare I call it a blessing in disguise? Since they didn't lose,
sure,
they still won. And like you said, hell of a wake-up call to have. I kind of think it's a really good get-right game. I think UNLV is going to be solid.
Yep. I love that. That's one of my trends I look for is the teams that survive the scares. All right. Any other takeaways, Steak? I feel like
I mean,
keep going.
Last time you saw Virginia drop 50 points, especially against Coastal Carolina, which is a very respected program. But I think you got to talk about fucking the kid Chad Morris from North Texas, 270 and 2 touchdowns, 50 yards on the ground. They play a lot of teams we're invested in, Florida State, Miami, and a few other teams. So I just think they're worth keeping an eye on because I don't think that was fluky. I think Virginia might have a offense.
Okay. Dude, how about UConn dropping 59?
Yeah,
Boston College.
How about, and you already said USC dropping 73.
Yep, that's my Ava's my long shot for the Heisman. Nothing crazy, 15 of 18, but 295 yards. I mean, he averaged 20 fucking yards a pass or something crazy. That was pretty impressive.
How easy was to fade Hawaii?
Oh, I didn't even know what they did.
They absolutely got throttled by Arizona 40-6.
Great fucking call. You played that with Beeve late night, didn't you?
Yeah. And then another one that I think cause for concern, Washington. I think they were losing or only up 3 going into the fourth quarter against a very bad. We did.
We did. Yep.
One of the showings of the weekend for sure. True freshman. They were either tied or whatever going into the fourth quarter. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to lie. The game started at 11. I absolutely went to sleep. But from everything I saw, they looked bad. We're Maverick McIver guys, Hill Daddy.
There's another thing I wanted to talk about. Fresno State had a pretty good bounce back. They were 1.5-point dogs. I think the Georgia Southern. EJ Warner still not very good. 20 of 27, 176 yards, 2 interceptions, but the running back was solid. So kudos to anybody who played Fresno. That was a pretty good wager too. Again, Rice.
I like the other side, just to be completely transparent.
You did.
Yep.
Just looking at anything else here. I think that's it.
I think that's it too. So what do you want to talk about? Like you said, we could wrap up early, which I agree, but let's talk TSU UNC real quick, right? And then wrap it up.
Oh yeah. TCU UNC. By the way, we both had green months in our picket calendars. Got to make sure to post that later.
How about my comeback?
Dude, great comeback. You got to point that out whenever you post it. That was awesome. Yeah. I didn't have a great weekend. I think for the most part, I was like 2-3. I got incredibly lucky with UTSA. Awful over in Clemson, awful live over in fucking Ohio State. Kentucky was a terrible wager. I'm not very good early. I need sample sizes, so that's why I didn't really bet very much. Typically, I'd probably have I don't know, anywhere from 7, 8 to 10, 11, 12 plays on a Saturday, just in case anybody's new to following me or us. So Steak's got bigger balls than I do. He pressed some buttons and he had success. Okay, and we will, by the way, for the newsletter, we'll send out our plays. I didn't want to do week 0 or week 1 because, again, we're not overly confident. We're sending out plays starting in week 2. Okay, TCU and the North Carolina Tar Heels. TCU is a 3.5-point favorite. Total's 54.5. Steak, I think I have a play in this game. We know Bill Belichick is coaching now. He's in his debut here at home. Looks like the line open -1.5 for UNC. The Sharps love them some TCU. 4-point swing. Total 55 down to 54.5. I'm a Josh Hoover guy. Quarterback for TCU. I'm on their over wins, and I like them tonight. But I don't know that I want to lay the 3.5 on the road in the first game. I think I want to take the team total. I think if I remember correctly, North Carolina's defense was atrocious last year. Bill Belichick is a smart defensive coach. Maybe he comes in year 1 and overhauls it and gets guys in the right position and they start playing much better. I don't know. But I like a guy like Josh Hoover and a coach like Sonny Dykes come in here to Chapel Hill and give them their best shot. It's going to be a fun game, standalone game on a Monday night. Give me the team total for TCU tonight. That's going to be my play.
I'm fine with your team total. Look, I'm starting to see value on North Carolina if I'm being complete.
That's fine. That's fine. I got no beef with that.
It's giving me a little, I'm just seeing value. I think it's kind of crazy. I think it's kind of
really well said.
It's just, what ball brain can we use with North Carolina when we don't know what kind of college coach Bill Belichick's going to be? And Gio Lopez looks good, but we don't know shit. He's from South Alabama. So I think our ball brain should say TCU because we've seen more actual Josh Hoover playing football. I just told myself I was probably going to be backing UNC going into this year, and then now I'm looking and seeing that I kind of like them tonight. I can't say I like that pip talk, but honestly, unders are just free money at this point, so can't talk.
I'm sorry. The total opened 59 and it's down to 55. Wow. Yeah.
Well, the way unders are smacking in primetime, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like you can just first half under in every one of these games, and it's money.
I like Josh Hoover in the Frogs tonight, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know anything about their defense. It wouldn't surprise me if North Carolina scored. I don't like the under. I like the over, but I'm going to go team total. Could this be like Patricia or Belichick brings NFL scheme? Yeah,
I would.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think if Gio Lopez is serviceable or above average, TCU's in trouble. That's really what I think. So I'm good with your team total look. I think North Carolina scores too. I don't really like the under.
No, I don't either. Yeah, Sun is DC. I don't think Bill is doing much play.
What about OC? Who's OC? Snowman.
I don't know. Yep. Kadex. By the way, Kadex, you were over here. Now you're in here. Are there two Kadexes, or are you the same person? With so many transfers, how can we cap the game? I don't know. It's impossible.
I think this is a tough one. Just like I said, I thought it was really tough to cap FSU. I think North Carolina, like if I had to make a list of teams that are toughest to cap, Freddie Kitchens, holy shit. Is he serious?
Yeah, it is.
Freddie Kitchens is the OC and Bill Belichick's son is the DC. What a hilarious move this is. This is so funny. This is so funny, dude. But you know what I say, dude? I might be a Freddie Kitchens guy, just like I'm a Matt Patricia guy, as long as they're coordinators.
All right. Fine.
As long as you're not head coaches of the Cleveland Browns.
Fine. I don't hate it.
Yeah. I should probably listen to my advice and stay off, but I might be taking North Carolina.
Okay. All right, guys. Steak, I think that's good for today.
Yeah, good recap.
All right, great recap. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. As always, Border View, 10 a.m. every weekday. Steak will be traveling. We get him tomorrow, and then he's off to Philadelphia for the season opener for the Eagles and Cowboys. So tomorrow we'll talk college football. Wednesday, I'll get a guest. I'll see if mid-major's available. Maybe I'll reach out to another NFL ball knower. Oh, maybe I'll get Ian Mack on. I got to reach out to Ian Mack, big Ian Mack fan. All right, guys. Have a great Monday night. Good luck on your bets. Be responsible, and let's have a great season. Steak, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you, boys.
See you, everybody. Peace.